everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well and I hope you are ready for some Christmas crafty videos. This is my first crafty video of 2022. It has to be papers. Do you remember this video from back in the spring? I made some Jesmonite trays by placing paper down inside the trays, and it was a big hit with so many of you over on Facebook groups, on Instagram. So yeah, I've been waiting months to be able to do a Christmas version of it. Now the two papers on the right are a thicker card, the one on the left is thinner. Go check out my last video, which was my Christmas haul video. I show you those papers, where I got them from, the thickness, etc. But more exciting than Christmas papers are these. These are custom blended pigments, perfect for plaster, eco resin, cement, Jesmonite, you name it, from the Homeware Design Co. Now they are over on Instagram, they have an Etsy. They contacted me through Instagram and asked if they could send me some of their colours. Now I picked the boho range. I was obsessed with the boho range, but they also sent me their fairy tale and vivid range. So whilst I was, trying to be polite and be like, oh, I'll just have a couple of colours out of the boho, they sent me everything. And let me tell you something else. I am in love. I am absolutely in love. There was no obligation to post a video or do any work with the pigments. They just wanted me to test them out and give them my feedback. But yeah, I'm in love. So I had to look at these colours. We've got sun-kissed cinnamon, we've got latte, all of these gorgeous warm colours. I'm actually going to be working with zen green in this video and also throwing in a little bit of pumpkin spice. We've also got avocado. Guys, the colour ranges are insane. Like I said, this is not paid promotion. I was not asked to do a video on this. This is my choice. This is the vivid range and also the fairy tale range with the amethyst and the ruby and ooh, gorgeous. Okay, now for the papers. In previous videos, I have shown you how to get your papers into your trays. It's not always so straightforward. I use the painting technique where you just basically make an imprint of the inside of your tray. But honestly, this one is a lot easier. It's not quicker, but it's a lot easier. And yeah, it's less fussy. It's less messy. So you just want to cut your paper to the size of your tray roughly. But what you want is the inside lip. So you're really gonna hold your tray down, use one hand to hold the paper down, use the other hand to make an imprint, an indentation of the outside edge of that inside lip, because what we don't want is that paper to come out over that lip and get in the way, because you're more likely to either get air pockets in your Jesmonite or the Jesmonite's going to seep underneath the paper at some stage. But yeah, just give it a really, really firm press with your finger and make sure that the inside rim of that is actually making an indentation in the paper. And once you've done all of that, yours should look something like this. You then want to go ahead and cut out that. You can either cut it bang on the line or just a smidgen, and I don't mean a millimetre, I mean 1/10 of a millimetre inside the line. That's generally what I do, just to make sure that this paper is definitely not going out over that lip at any point. So for this paper, I was really going for a green. I knew I'd know when I got that green, but I was going for the green. So this is one single drop of Zen green. Check out how pigmented this is. It is absolutely stunning. Now, like any other green pigment, you'll need more pigment to make a green. With other pigments, you need the whole 2% to get that true solid block color. So I just kept adding until I thought, actually, while I'm here, I'm going to try out just throwing other colours in. I think I felt quite free. I felt like I could pretty much explore at this point. Just play around with the colours and explore what else was in the pack. So we went in with some pumpkin spice because I thought, if anything, this is going to give me like either a reddy green or a darker brown, and that's still going to work with the paper. So I took the pressure off myself looking for the dream colour, and I just had to play around. But even this colour, look at this. So this is the green mixed in with the pumpkin spice. Look at this colour. It is the warmest shade. So yeah, I carried on playing. I'm not going to lie. I added a bit more green And then at some point, I think I added another bit of the red. And yeah, yeah, it's not very helpful, is it? Me sitting here saying, I just threw loads of colours in. But honestly, hand on heart, this is mostly pumpkin spice and zen green. And then I added the powder. Now, look at the colour of that pigment. And after I added the powder, check out the colour. Guys, I am in love with the way this came out. Now, my gut is telling me this is zen green. So if I just carried on adding more zen green, I would have got to this colour anyway. So the 2 drops of pumpkin spice probably weren't actually worth it. I feel like the zen green is so pigmented that it will possibly take over whatever else I put in there anyway. So if you want your gorgeous dark Christmas green, zen green is your colour, and that can be found in the boho pack of the colour, of the colour samples that they've got. They do packs, and this green can be found in the boho pack, and I am obsessed with this green. I know everyone loves green at the moment, especially green sofas, but I am beyond. Like, I want everything in green, literally. Look at this colour. It's absolutely stunning. Now, I have sped this part up for you because, you don't need to watch it in real time. It's not a quick process. I went around real slow with a cocktail stick in and around all of those inside 90-degree edges because I don't want any air pockets in the final lip, the final result. Gave it a little bit of a shimmy. Now, here's the thing. When you use paper, you really can't tap. You can't go crazy tapping like wild, You have to be so careful. So I literally gave it like 3 little baby shimmies. And that was it. I left it. Next up, we have this really traditional red tartan. Now, for the colours, I really didn't know where I wanted to go with this, but look at these colours. We've got sun-kissed, we've got salmon, apricot, pumpkin spice. All of these colours I felt would work because there's this orangey, reddy undertone to this paper. Now, if you look real closely, you can't probably see it from here. There is green in this paper as well. There's a couple of green lines, orange lines, red lines, but look at this. This is literally like one pigment. 2 drops of one pigment, and look how many colours came out of this one pigment. It is honestly so pigmented. So again, I just played around because I felt like I would know when I see it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know until I saw it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I could say. I ended up with this salmony kind of latte, salmony, pinky colour. And it didn't work with the paper, even though the colour itself is so boho. It is stunning. I threw in some green. I thought, what's going to happen, right? What's the worst that could happen? I'll get another magnificent, dreamy, oh my goodness me, green. This is how pigmented these are. That green, clearly being a darker pigment than all the others, has taken over and given me the most stunning kind of khaki. Like, it's darker than khaki, but it's like a olive. I want to say olive. Look at this colour. Now, you can't really see it, but there is a really thin stripe of green going through this paper. That's enough for me. That is enough for me to match, for it to match. And even the paper that I've got this tray resting on, this would have gone absolutely dreamy with this paper, and that really would have made for quite a classical kind of vintage style tray. But yeah, guys, I was a little bit obsessed, I'm not gonna lie. The greens were calling to me. Now, obviously they're calling to me because it's Christmas, right? Any other time of the year, I'd be all for the other colours, but the greens, oh my god, the greens. Right, listen, we're going off green. I found that the latte would be the closest match to this paper. So this paper here is the thinner paper. And at this point, I don't know if it's going to work. It's got kind of undertones of beige, greyish, and greens and reds and browns. That's the only way I can describe it. So again, I figured, well, I can't go wrong. Just use the boho range, throw the colours in. Check out this, guys. This is latte. Oh my goodness me. Now, we all know this reminds us of another particular colour, But this is even more beautiful. This is even more beautiful. This is a calming, real kind of chill out. Well, it's latte, isn't it? All those colours are beautiful. So at this point, I thought, well, let's go off plan and throw in some sun-kissed, but also throw in some ruby. So I actually opened up the Fairy Tale and Vivid range, and in the Fairy Tale range is a red. It is a red. It is stunning. So I actually ended up just putting in a couple of drops of the ruby, because I'm looking at the paper and I'm thinking, well, there's red in there, you know? So we're kind of in the right colour palette right now, but a little bit of red, yes, yeah, a little bit of red would definitely work. The ruby, I have to say, you do have to shake these pigments like any pigment. The instructions do come with it, and it does recommend that you shake them really, really thoroughly. Now with the red, I really shook it, and it came out like a beautiful red paste, whereas the other ones, I clearly didn't shake them as much, and they appeared as slightly thinner. So that might be down to the chemical makeup, the science behind these products, but either way, they worked a dream. And look at this red. This red actually transformed my latte and my sun-kissed. So this was latte and sun-kissed. I added a bit of red and it gave me this. It was like a cross between purple and wine, and I thought, this works. But when it came down to it and I'd mixed it thoroughly mixed it in with all of the powder, it came down to this gorgeous, almost blush rose. Like it was a cross between reddy blush rose, and yes, is all I had. I thought, well, this is the colour we've got. I really need to pour. It works with the paper. It totally works with the paper. It's not the colour I was going for, but these are all brand new pigments, and I really wanted to just play with them, have fun with them, whilst also having a product at the end. I don't want to just waste when I'm playing. And look at this colour. Yes, if you're wondering why I'm using a sieve, I've used sieves in previous videos. It really just helps me because my mixing, I mix for all of a minute with a whisk, and I mix quite vigorously. I really go at it. But I'm always left with lumps, You can use a mixing blade, you can do things better than me, but honestly, sometimes when I want a little bit of neatness, I do use a sieve to get rid of my lumps. Okay, 30 minutes later. Yes, 30 minutes later. If you are new to Jesmonite, this is 30 minutes later, demold. And first thing I noticed was my paper was not symmetrical, like it wasn't straight, but I got over it very quickly because look at this green. Guys, I loved it. The paper and that pigment work so well together. Now, when you use paper in Jesmonite, sometimes you might notice sweat on the top where the paper has absorbed that liquid medium and it is starting to sweat. There's some water there. Just leave it alone. You can dab it off gently with a piece of tissue, or anything, a gentle dab. We're not rubbing because we might rub the paper. So there's a gentle dab of a tissue or a cloth just to get rid of that excess water that is sitting on the paper. Leave it overnight. Trust me, it'll be fine. But look at this edge. Look at this edge. It is so gorgeous. Guys, when you can't tap, when you can't bash and whack your Jesmonite molds, honestly, get down in there with a toothpick or a cocktail stick right around that edge. Get those air bubbles out. This is next up. This is your more traditional red tartan with a tiny little green line running through it, and this little green line was enough for me to do a green outline. But yeah, this is the one where I just didn't know what direction I was going in, and the final colour I ended up with was stunning, but it wasn't the colour I wanted, so I added a little bit of green pigment and we got this stunning khaki, gorgeous olive green. And I look at the the greens. Yeah, so happy. Love these papers so much. This is giving me all of the Christmas feels, and I love them. So if you're wondering, if you're new to Jesmonite, this is how we dry them. I do have some metal racks, but I also fold your, put your mold upside down on your table, rest the Jesmonite piece down on top of the mould so that there is airflow. You need airflow flowing to all of the areas underneath, above, around and the sides to make sure that no moisture is left in. Look at this. This reminds me of Country Kitchen. Not so much Christmas. This reminds me of Auntie Kathleen's Country Kitchen. Let me know your thoughts. Farmhouse. That's what this reminds me of. This reminds me of farmhouse tablecloth, farmhouse kitchen, when you've just finished baking and you go out to feed your horses. That is what this reminds me of, and I love it. It is the least Christmassy out of the three. This was the thinnest paper out of the three. This is 150 GSM. I'm going to double check that and put it on the screen. But this was the thinnest paper. This was not the thick cardstock. And I was worried that this wouldn't work. I was worried that it would just soak up and crinkle and go creasy and horrible. But it worked. So I'm just loving all three of them. I'm absolutely loving them. Let me know which is your favourite. For colour, I am going with the one on the right, the tartan on the right. Even though that pattern is not fully straight, I'm okay with it. The green wins. As for just overall beauty, the one on the left, the one that's not even Christmassy, I just think it's so beautiful and delicate and pretty. And yeah, I love it. I absolutely love the way that pigment came out. Beautiful, really beautiful. So I know I will get questions on sealing these, how to seal these, and very much like all of my other videos with paper in Jesmonite, I'm going to be using the Jesmonite acrylic sealer. Now, like I said, I know that's been discontinued, and I believe they're working on another one, but I do use the water-based, like the liquid acrylic sealer, and it works fine. It works absolutely fine because the papers at this point have absorbed all of the moisture they can possibly absorb from the Jesmonite, so they're not going to tear and rip when you add more moisture from your sealer. So if you have any other sealers, you have Elechem, or if you have, Protect It from Resin 8, they should work. They should work. Now, I haven't done any tests yet, but yes, if you want to know about sealers, I will be sealing these with the acrylic sealer from Jesmonite, as I know it works and I know it's heat proof. Still haven't run any tests on all of the others, but thank you so much. If you are still here, I hope you've really enjoyed this, and thank you so much for the pigments. I'm actually gonna put their details below. I'll put their Instagram below. If you are interested in the pigments, go check it out. Guys, this was not a sponsored video. I did not get paid for this video. This was literally like, would you like to try our colours? You don't need to do a video kind of thing, so no need for the paid promotion banner, just in case you're wondering at this point. And yeah, I've really enjoyed using them. I will put their details down below, and thank you so much if you've stayed this long. I hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe, and I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down and the storm is on its way, but as long as you're around, everything will be okay. 'Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have you for myself, in a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. Another year went by, but the difference this time is that ever since July, I've been happier than I have ever been. It's safe to say that my love for you is true. Tomorrow is